the late 70s, an indigenous civil engineering firm in Victoria sent waves rippling across the nation through the impeccable jobs that the firm executed with its high profile engineers. The firm was known as Tamanjong Ndumu and Partners, with its headquarters at Down Beach. The brain behind this memorable structure was Mr. Tamanjong Ndumu, the famous engineer of Public Works Department. One of the top engineers of the company, the erudite and legendary Jim Nkwanyuo, will take us down memory lane about the company. Jim, who was the first student ever in Sacred Heart College, Mankan, to score 10 papers at the GC ordinary level, will trace his route from his recruitment, his career, and the exploits of Tamanjong Ndumu and Partners.
By the time I came from school, Mr. Bara, of blessed memory, Mr. Taka, of blessed memory, had joined Pandumu. And while I was going to school in Nigeria, that's when Nigeria had the oil boom. And there was plenty of civil engineering work. As a civil engineering student, I went to offices and I saw people doing work, doing calculations, detailing, drawing plans, writing specifications, and I decided that I would like to be an engineer in full engineering practice, that I would like to work in the civil engineering office. So when I came home, I saw Padmo and Mr. Palmer, and they employed me. So I joined my late friend, Mr. Bara, my late friend, Andrew Taka, and we're the first 3 African engineers that worked in the Ndumu and Partners. We were told that engineer William Fru had done it sometime there, but left, went back to Douala to open his own office. But Tamanjong Ndumu and Partners was the very first civil engineering consulting firm in the whole of the Federal Republic of Cameroon, as it was called then.
There was this tendency that young engineers had to go to government. What took you there?
As a matter of fact, what you are saying is very, very correct. When I came, when I met any relative or any close friend, there was only one question. You are now in which department? Either in DUD then, Department of Urban Development, or PWD. But I told you that no, that I'm working in Tamanjong Ndumu and Partners. And they asked, what is that? They didn't even know that that firm existed. As a matter of fact, it was the 3 of us that, as young engineers, that joined the company, that sort of popularized the company here in Victoria. People didn't know, people believe that every engineer, when you come back from school, you join PWD or you join DWD. As a matter of fact, I would have. But for the experience I had in Nigeria, where I knew that there were other engineering concerns that are not purely government. Some of my professors at the university had engineering practices, and during holidays we went and worked with them. So when I left school, I got fully convinced that I don't think that joining government was the way I wanted to continue my life. So I had planned that I would rather join a private engineering firm. Fortunately for me, there was one, because I could have come, there was none, and then I would join government. But I came, there was in Ndumu and Partners, and it happened that I joined Tamanjong Ndumu and Partners.
And how were you recruited into that company?
Okay, put it this way. Those days, people who left school with very good results were very few. Okay. Some still went to government. So it's like, when I came, I met Pandumu, saw my results. As a matter of fact, I came from Lagos on a Friday. I spent, like a young man, my Saturday and Sunday eating and drinking and dancing with my friend, dancing in the black and white and Miramba. On a Monday morning, I just passed by Pandumu's office to inform him that I've come. He said, no, you cannot go home. That's your office. Start working. So my elder sister, whom I was staying, thought I would go and come back for breakfast. I only came for lunch break. Asked her, I started working. As I arrived at the office, I saw Pandumu. Pandumu called Mr. Palmer. He said, oh, Mr. Nkwanyuo is here. He just said, look, that's your office. Go and sit down and start working. That's how it happened. So by the time I came to Ndumu and Partners, I had a fair knowledge, a starting knowledge of what is about engineering design. So I didn't find difficulty. I remember I came to the office and Madame Pascal, who was there, the chief structural engineer, gave me the plans of an old culvert, gave me all calculations, gave me everything, and asked me to look at them clearly and then see what I can do. Okay, I spent a week looking at them. And the following week, she gave me the culvert to design. By then, Tamanjong, Ndumu and Pandas had just won the design of the road from Victoria then to Edenau. So we're doing all the road alignments, the cuts and the fields, the culverts, the bridges. I remember my first project was the culvert, I think somewhere in the Buja. Then after that, I had to work on the appointment on Njonji Bridge. I remember very well. And then Madame Pascal gave me a sample calculation how to design abutments and piers and gave me all the elements. So I did my design and gave to her to check. That was the learning process. And after that, we started doing everything now without any control. So I had a blessing that right in school, I had the introduction to what I had to do in the office. And in the office, I was given good guidance by senior engineers. I think that's all I can tell you about that.
And definitely as a young engineer, and you went into this project, what did you derive any fulfillment in that job?
I think I did, for one simple reason. Okay, maybe growing up like a child, I knew about an engineer, but I didn't quite understand what engineering was all about. When I was in school, I know after graduation, you can go into construction. You can go into professional practice as design, calculations, writing of specs. You can go into research. You can go into marketing. But for some reason, maybe the type of person I was as a small child, I enjoyed the part which I consider was intellectual, like working in a design office, looking at plans, carrying out conception from nothing to something. So that gave me a lot of excitement. And I think I don't regret staying in that until today. That I'm almost.
What were these qualities that made you stay with Tamanjong Ndumu until you went on retirement?
Okay, the first thing is that here was I, working with a great guy, the first engineer of all times, a very, very knowledgeable person. As a matter of fact, Tamanjong Ndumu, when he was alive, the time I knew him, was about the most knowledgeable person I knew in my life, and maybe in Cameroon. He was a man whom, besides being a great engineer, was apt in any other field. You bring astrology, astrophysics, botany, history, geophysics, medicine, and more, would hold discussion unto a long length before you know that he wasn't a historian, he wasn't a lawyer, wasn't an astrophysicist. That's how he was. And then, so each time I was in his presence, I was very highly inspired by him. So I just stayed there. Down the line, other options came, other jobs, mostly going to do construction as a technical manager. I just refused. One, right from school, I had decided that I would be a professional engineer. So it wasn't only the material motivation. It wasn't also only because of the higher salary, no. But because I thought that's what I wanted to do. And then I was doing that in the warmth, in the supervision of somebody for whom personally I had very, very high esteem. That's what came in. I'll tell you a small story. Around 1982, some Northerners created a new company where they were going to start doing road maintenance. And as at then, there was no engineer of Northern origin. And they thought they could only trust Anglophones. So they made that Pag Wasangaya was the Minister of Mines and Power to join them. Pag Wasangaya refused that he wouldn't join them. Gave his reasons, he was a career civil servant, he rather finished his career. They met Mr. Jerome Meta, who was in public works, became Minister of Public Works. He told them, no, he too cannot leave his civil service career and join him. So they were sent to me. They came to me, good salary, good conditions. They would give me a Niva air condition for a car. But then I was earning, I think, 400,000 francs per month in Ndumu and Pandas, and I'm going to earn 750. But I look at the whole thing. What was I going to do as an engineer in charge of maintaining roads? clean potholes, put viscous material, compact, and put bitumen. That's all. A job which after 3 months we are bored. So either I start drinking beer in the Cartier, or start collecting bribes from suppliers of bitumen, gravel, and on. So I turned down the job. And my elder sister didn't quite believe what I was doing. I said, no, sister, that's not the job for me. The money is good, but the job is not exciting. Professionally, I don't think that's what I went to school to come and do, to come and repair potholes. No, I won't do that. And I never thought that I was something was terribly wrong with me. But that's where I am. I chose a line in the profession and I stay by it until today. So besides material things and the rest, I think my mind told me that that's what I should be doing. Material benefits was there, but it was not the main, it was not the governing factor of what decision I took. Was that I wanted to be a professional civil engineer, and I thank God that I was. I thank God I still am today.
But Jim, at the time, at a young age, you were a combination of intellectualism, social life, and many other things that the society would call for. And being an engineer at the time, it meant you had to be in some funny attires, in some funny outlook, and so on. Did that ever affect your morale?
Kevin, it did not. First of all, you know that when I was in school, as a young man in secondary school, my real interest was the arts. If I read something after school, I read a history book, I read a book on anthropology, I read a book on World War, and the sciences. They can go. The sciences were my competence. So all my life, I've been in this bridge where I'm either doing science or I'm doing arts. So it didn't change me because as a person, that's what I was. I was a man who enjoyed reading the arts, reading the classics, reading plenty of history, and a man who went to class and during exams, I had 90 in physics, 95 in math and the rest. So my life has been a weird balance of those things of being an artist, being a technician, enjoying social life. Don't forget that I play guitar in secondary school. So that's just where I am. That's where God made me. So as a man who I enjoyed, as I can say, all aspects of what life should be or what life is supposed to be. So I enjoyed working as an engineer. I enjoyed discussing politics, anthropology, history, philosophy. I enjoyed good life. I enjoyed going out to nightclub with my friends. Guitar dream because notice I was playing guitar in secondary school. So for me, that's me.